The historical backdrop of chocolate can be followed to the antiquated Mayans, and much prior to the old Olmecs of southern Mexico. The word chocolate may invoke pictures of sweet pieces of candy and tasty truffles. However, the chocolate of today is minimal like the chocolate of the past. All through a lot of history, chocolate was a respected however harsh refreshment, not a sweet, eatable treat. How chocolate is made. Chocolate is produced using the product of cacao trees, which are local to Central and South America. The organic products are called units and each case contains around 40 cacao beans. The beans are dried and broiled to make cocoa beans. It's indistinct precisely when cacao went ahead the scene or who created it. As indicated by Hayes Lavis, social expressions caretaker for the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian, old Olmec pots and vessels from around 1500 BC were found with hints of theobromine, an energizer compound found in chocolate and tea. It's idea the Olmecs utilized cacao to make a formal beverage. In any case, since they kept no recorded history, conclusions contrast on the off chance that they utilized cacao beans in their inventions or simply the mash of the cacao unit. Mayan chocolate. The Olmecs without a doubt gave their cacao information to the Central American Mayans who not just expended chocolate, they worshipped it. The Mayan recorded history makes reference to chocolate drinks being utilized in festivities and to finish significant exchanges. Regardless of chocolate's significance in Mayan culture, it wasn't saved for the rich and groundbreaking, however promptly accessible to nearly everybody. In numerous Mayan families, chocolate was delighted in with each supper. Mayan chocolate was thick and foamy and frequently joined with bean stew peppers, nectar or water. Cacao beans as currency. The Aztecs took chocolate appreciation to another level. They accepted cacao was given to them by their divine beings. Like the Mayans, they delighted in the jazzed kick of hot or cold, spiced chocolate drinks in fancy compartments. However, they additionally utilized cacao beans as money to purchase food and different merchandise. In Aztec culture, cacao beans were viewed as more significant than gold. Aztec chocolate was for the most part a high society indulgence, despite the fact that the lower classes delighted in it sometimes at weddings or different festivals. Maybe the most famous Aztec chocolate admirer of everything was the powerful Aztec ruler Montezuma II, who as far as anyone knows drank gallons of chocolate every day for vitality and as a sexual enhancer. It's likewise said he held a portion of his cacao beans for his military. Spanish hot chocolate. There are clashing reports about when chocolate showed up in Europe, in spite of the fact that it's concurred it originally showed up in Spain. One story says Christopher Columbus found cacao beans subsequent to capturing an exchange transport on an excursion to America and took the beans back to Spain with him in 1502. Another story states Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés was acquainted with chocolate by the Aztecs of Montezuma's court, subsequent to coming back to Spain. Cacao beans close behind, he as far as anyone knows kept his chocolate information a very much watched mystery. A third story guarantees that monks who introduced Guatemalan Mayans to Philip II of Spain in 1544 additionally brought cacao beans along as a blessing. Regardless of how chocolate got to Spain, by the late 1500s it was a much adored extravagance by the Spanish court, and Spain started bringing in chocolate in 1585. As other European nations, for example, Italy and France visited portions of Central America, they likewise found out about cacao and took chocolate back to their point of view nations. Before long, chocolate madness spread all through Europe. With the appeal for chocolate came chocolate estates, which were worked by a great many slaves. European palates weren't happy with the customary Aztec chocolate drink formula. They made their own assortments of hot cocoa with natural sweetener, cinnamon and other regular flavors and flavorings. Before long, popular chocolate houses for the affluent sprung up all through London, Amsterdam and other European urban areas. Chocolate in the American colonies. Chocolate showed up in Florida on a Spanish boat in 1641. Its idea, the principal American chocolate house, opened in Boston in 1682. By 1773, cocoa beans were a significant American state import and chocolate was appreciated by individuals, all things considered. During the Revolutionary War, chocolate was given to the military as proportions and at times given to troopers as installment rather than cash. Chocolate was additionally given as apportions to fighters during World War II. Cacao powder. At the point when chocolate initially went ahead the scene in Europe, it was an extravagance just the rich could appreciate. In any case, in 1828, Dutch scientific expert Coenraad Johannes van Houten found an approach to treat cacao beans with soluble salts to make a powdered chocolate that was simpler to blend in with water. The procedure got known as Dutch preparing, and the chocolate delivered called cacao powder or Dutch cocoa. Van Houten evidently likewise designed the cocoa press, albeit a few reports express his dad created the machine. The cocoa press isolated cocoa spread from simmered cocoa beans to cheaply and effectively make cocoa powder, which was utilized to make a wide assortment of scrumptious chocolate items. Both Dutch preparing and the chocolate press helped make chocolate moderate for everybody. It likewise opened the entryway for chocolate to be mass-created. Nestlé chocolate bars. For a great part of the 19th century, chocolate was appreciated as a refreshment. Milk was frequently included rather than water. In 1847, British chocolatier J.S. Fry & Sons made the principal chocolate bar formed from a glue made of sugar, chocolate alcohol and cocoa spread. Swiss chocolatier Daniel Peter is commonly attributed for adding dried milk powder to chocolate to make milk chocolate in 1876. In any case, it wasn't until quite a while later that he worked with his companion Henri Nestlé and they made the Nestlé Company and brought milk chocolate to the mass market. Chocolate had made some amazing progress during the 19th century. However, it was still hard to bite. In 1879, another Swiss chocolatier, Rudolf Lindt, imagined the Conch machine which blended and circulated air through chocolate, giving it a smooth, soften-in-your-mouth consistency that mixed well with different fixings. By the late 19th century and mid-20th century, family chocolate organizations, for example, Cadbury, Mars, Nestlé and Hershey, were mass-creating an assortment of chocolate sugary treats to satisfy the developing need for the sweet treat. Chocolate today. Most present-day chocolate is profoundly refined and mass-delivered. Albeit some chocolatiers, despite everything, make their chocolate manifestations by hand and keep the fixings as unadulterated as could reasonably be expected. Chocolate is accessible to drink, yet is all the more frequently delighted in as a consumable sugary treat or in sweets and prepared products. While your normal chocolate bar isn't viewed as sound, dull chocolate has earned its place as a heart-solid, cancer prevention agent-rich treat. Reasonable trade chocolate. Cutting-edge chocolate creation includes some significant downfalls. The same number of cocoa ranchers battle to make a decent living. Some go to low-wage or slave work, once in a while procured by kid dealing, to remain serious. This has provoked grass-pulls endeavors for enormous chocolate organizations to re-evaluate how they get their cocoa gracefully. It's additionally brought about interests for increasingly reasonable exchange chocolate which is made in a moral and maintainable manner. If you liked the video, do not forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.